Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. Now let's get into the video. Austin Butler has recently been turning a lot of heads with his portrayal of Elvis, but there isn't that much known about him. So in this video, we're taking a look at who Austin Butler is and how he became Elvis. Number 5. Early days in acting. It is often the case in Hollywood that an unknown actor comes on the scene and leaves everyone stunned. Well, something along these lines has happened once again with Austin Butler, who has done an amazing job with his portrayal of Elvis. Before he had found himself in this role, he used to appear in some smaller shows. He even once appeared on the show iCarly and many other Disney and Nickelodeon shows. Those were just the start of his career, but one role that placed him in front of millions of eyes was when he appeared in Quentin Tarantino's movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Those that had an interest in watching the CW show Arrow might also recognize him, as he also had a very small part in one season of the show. Well, all these small things added to him getting to play Elvis, but the way he got the part was seriously magical. Number 4. Destined to play Elvis. Before the actors for a movie are selected, the actual title of the movie is announced to the public to generate some hype surrounding the project. This is why Austin had heard that an Elvis movie was going to be made. One day, he was driving along with Vanessa Hudgens, and one of Elvis' songs came on the radio. Austin immediately started singing along to it, and Vanessa later described this event as him being destined to play the role of Elvis. She said that she immediately told him to look into getting the part, which is why he ended up auditioning for the role, but things didn't get easier from there. Number 3. Grueling audition period. Before he went into the audition for the role of Elvis, he heard all the songs that Elvis had released and saw many movies and documentaries that had been made about him. All this led to him leaving a fine impression on the director during the first audition he did. One of the first songs that he chose to play at his audition was titled That's All Right, Mama, and he had chosen this song due to the fact that both his and Elvis' mother had departed from this world when they were 23 years old. Elvis had written this song about his mother, which is why it connected with Austin. But this first audition wasn't enough to land him the role, and this was because he had to go through a 5-month audition process. He said that during this audition period, he had to read lines and sing live at the same time. All in all, it seemed like it was a truly grueling process that he had been put through, but he persevered nonetheless. Number 2. Training during pandemic. Even though this movie was released in theaters in 2022, it had been in production since 2020. When the movie initially began filming in January 2020, Tom Hanks, who also played a huge role in the movie, ended up getting COVID-19 in March. This was one of the biggest news stories of the time, and it broke the internet. As you can imagine, the entire production of the movie was halted during this time, but it turned out to be good news for Austin. He ended up taking this additional time to continue his training to become an even better representation of Elvis. He even got an Olympic swimmer and trained with him, all in order to get the hip movements of Elvis down. The movie had halted production from January till September, which gave him plenty of time to smooth over any imperfections that he felt he had in his acting. Number 1. Learning how to speak like Elvis. Singing like Elvis is just one aspect of making a movie about him, because you also have to speak like him in casual conversation. This proved to be an even harder job, but Austin Butler didn't give up. He said in an interview that he went over many archives of Elvis and studied his mannerisms in order to get his personality down to a T. Another interesting aspect of learning to be like Elvis was that the movie didn't take place over just one particular year, but over the course of Elvis' life. This is why Austin had to learn how Elvis spoke at various stages of his life and incorporate that into his acting. He truly gave it his all when it came to this role, and it more than shows in the movie. This is also why the movie is doing so well financially and critically. This is no doubt going to propel Austin's career to a whole new level, and there's no doubt that he fully deserves it. These were all the details of who Austin Butler is and how he embodies Elvis. This goes to show that when you give your heart and soul towards a passion, great things can end up happening for you. This brings us to the end of the video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell so you don't miss out on future videos. If you enjoyed the content, then do leave a like. So until next time, take care and goodbye.